fix the metaphor. The idea that Christian faith is somehow against progress and reactionary in that kind of sense, I find almost amusing, because the very freedoms that we value in Western liberal democracies are freedoms that were given to us by Christianity. It's interesting when it comes to things like human rights, the equality of men and women, the legal system, the educational system, which we all enjoy, all of those have their roots in Christianity. And I suppose the major one of those is the Christian doctrine that human beings are equal because they've been created equal and given infinite dignity because they are creatures of God. To say that that's reactionary and somehow detrimental, I find in a sense incredible, because it evaluates human beings at a very much higher level than atheism does, which says, of course, that in the end human beings are just a stage in the endless, mindless, purposeless unfolding of what is latent within the atomic structure of matter. So that it's good to be reminded, even by atheists who've seen this, that it's the case. Jürgen Habermas is one of the most prominent intellectual leaders in Germany, and he describes himself as a methodological atheist. And yet he says that when we look at Western civilization, it is Christianity that has given us our freedoms, our democracy, our legal system, and so on. And then he adds, to this day, we have no other option, that is, than Christianity. Everything else is postmodern chatter. So I think it's a very healthy reminder from someone who's not a Christian of what we owe to Christianity. Therefore, someone who says that Christian doctrine, Christian teaching is impeding progress simply knows nothing of history. After all, we could add to that, of course, the fact of the care for the weak. Hospitals, hospices are all Christian developments. If you look back to the Greek and Roman world, they were not egalitarian in any sense, and babies that were unwanted would simply be exposed on the mountainside, etc. And what Christianity brought into the ancient world, and it has stayed with us until the present day, are those fundamental values. What I do find interesting, though, is that people who don't want to acknowledge this tend to say, but those are Enlightenment values. Well, of course they're not. The Enlightenment got them from Christianity, but then the Enlightenment attempted to get rid of God. And as somebody has said, what the Enlightenment added to everything was the fact that they introduced the terrorist method of cutting off the heads of people with whom you disagreed. But the basic human values, all of them stem from Christianity. And the danger, I would see, is by jettisoning Christianity, we will discover that we'll make the world a very much worse place to live in. It's very interesting that the European Constitution, which is a very long document, makes no mention of God. And there was a great deal of wrangling and discussion as to whether Christianity should be mentioned. But they decided in the end to airbrush out the very thing that is the mandate for the freedoms that all of us enjoy.